Hello everyone, welcome to our chapter. We are discussing the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. We discuss the parts stem, root, leaves, inflorescence, etc. Next we are discussing the next topic is fruits. Fruits are the fertilized and ripened ovaries with the seeds. What is the definition of the fruit? Fruits are the fertilized and ripened ovaries with the seeds. The wall of the fruit is called pericarp. Here I am given some terms. Okay, so please be careful with the terms. The wall of the fruit, that is known as pericarp, which is developed from the ovary wall. Pericarp is developed from the ovary wall. When the pericarp is thick and fleshy, it is differentiated into outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner endocarp. For example, mango. Outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and the inner endocarp. Example, mango. When we are considering the mango and the coconut, both are fruit. Okay, but they are not similar. So mango is an example for a fleshy drupe, and the coconut is an example for a fibrous drupe. Mango is an example for fleshy drupes, and the coconut is an example for the fibrous drupe. Okay. So in mango and coconut, the pericarp is differentiated into outer thin epicarp, fleshy or fibrous mesocarp, and inner hard endocarp. In coconut, the endocarp is stony. When we are considering the mango and the coconut, the outer thin epicarp, both having the outer thin epicarp. In case of mango, the mesocarp is fleshy. In case of the coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous. And the inner portion is hard endocarp in case of mango, and the inner portion is stony in the case of coconut. Okay, the fleshy fruits have a fleshy or fibrous pericarp. The dry fruits have a thick woody or leathery fruit wall. Next we are discussing simple fruit and the aggregate fruit, and then multiple fruit. Okay, simple fruits means the simple fruits are produced from a single flower which having a monocarpellary or multicarpellary syncarpous pistil. We studied the difference between syncarpous and apocarpous. Syncarpous means fused. Okay, so a simple fruit is developed from a monocarpellary or multicarpellary syncarpous pistil. Aggregate fruits means aggregate fruits are developed from the apocarpous pistil. Then the multiple fruits are formed from the inflorescence. Okay, so these are the different terms related to fruits. The next is seed. Seed is a fertilized and matured ovule within a embryo and endosperm. Seed is a fertilized and matured ovule with an embryo and an endosperm. The covering of the seed, that is known as integument, otherwise known as seed coat. The integument of the ovule becomes the seed coat. The outer layer of the seed coat is known as testa and the inner layer is known as tegument. Okay, the stalk of the ovule is attached to the seed at the region called hilum, which appears as a scar after the detachment of a seed from the funicle. Then the seed may be, the endospermous seed may be albuminous or non-albuminous. Okay, the portion of the seed from where the shoot system is arising, that is known as plumule. And the portion of radicle means the root system is arising from the radicle. Again, I am discussing all these points to you. Seeds as a fertilized, matured ovule. The covering of the seed, that is known as seed coat. The seed coat is developed from the integuments of the ovule. Okay, integument means outer covering, integuments of the ovule. Outer layer of the seed is known as testa. Inner layer of the seed is known as tegumen. Okay, when we are taking a pea seed, a notch is seen in the center. The pea seed is the structure of kidney shape. So it having a notch in the center. The center notch is known as hilum. From the center notch, when the seed start to germinate, from the hilum, a hilum portion is two mola verule, oru mola thalattekkum oru mola മേലേക്കും വരും. Okay, the upper portion forming from the hilum, that is plumule. Plumule helps the functioning of or formation of the shoot system, and the lower portion forms a radicle. Radicle helps to form root system, and the seeds are maybe endospermous. Endospermous means albuminous. Okay, and sometimes the seeds are non-albuminous. Okay, the other term is non-endospermous. All seeds are not endospermous. Here the endosperm is present. It is an example for a monocot seed. So the monocot seed have endosperm. Okay, so next we are discussing the structure of the monocot seed. So what you can see in this picture? We have a seed coat. Outer covering is known as seed coat. Okay. Then after the seed coat, the next layer is alluron layer. After the seed coat, the next layer is the alluron layer. After the seed coat, the next layer, that is alluron layer. Then what was next? Then this seed is endospermous. Endospermous means here this endosperm is present. Then this plumule and the radicle. So plumule means shoot system is forming. Radicle means shoot system is forming. Root system is forming. So this radicle is covered by a layer that is known as coleorhiza, and the plumule is covered by a layer that is known as coleoptile. Okay, so from the plumule the shoot system is forming. From the radicle the root system is forming. Plumule is covered by coleoptile and the radicle is covered by coleorhiza. Okay, and a single seed-shaped structure is seen here, that is known as scutellum. The single seed-shaped structure. Seed-shaped structure means that seed-shaped cotyledon. So that single seed-shaped cotyledon, that is known as scutellum. So this is the structure of monocot. So here we can see only one cotyledon. Clear? So this is about monocot, the structure of monocot seed. Monocot seeds consist of seed coats, embryo and the endosperm. And the seed coat are differentiated into testa and tegumen, and they having alluron layer, then coleoptile and coleorhiza. Plumule is covered by coleoptile and the radical portion is covered by coleorhiza, and they have shield shape and the shield shape cotyledon, that is known as scutellum. What is known as scutellum? Okay, this is the structure of the first picture. This is the structure of a monocot seed, and this is the structure of a dicot seed. So dicot seed means they have two cotyledons, 1, 2. There we see only one cotyledon. Here we can see only one cotyledon, that is scutellum. But here we can see two cotyledons, that is dicotyledons. It also having testa, tegumen, then the radicle, plumule portions, etc. Okay, clear it is. The next portion that we are discussing here, that is very important portion, floral formula. What is formula? It's explaining something. Okay, so here the floral formula. So the method of representing floral structure by a series of symbols, letters, numbers. Okay, that makes a floral formula. Is it clear to you? The method of representing the floral structure by a series of symbols, letters, numbers. Okay, all this makes the floral formula. So when we are analyzing a floral formula, we can easily describe the structure or the features of the typical flower. What are the features of a typical flower? The typical flower having calyx, corolla, the number of the calyx, number of the corolla, zygomorphic, actinomorphic, like that. Okay, so here symbols are here. See, different symbols are giving to the structure. Okay, the first one is BR stands for bracteate flower. If the flower having bract, that is known as bracteate. If the flower have not bracteate, that is represented by EBR, abracteate. What is bract? The leaf in whole axil of a flower erases or the leafy structure that substance a flower. Okay, that is bracteate. When we are ripened tomato having a green color portion below it. Okay, that's the example for a bract. Then K stands for, here is the letter K. K stands for calyx. Okay, and here KN. KN means polycephalus. And here the N is in bracket. That means gamo. Gamocephalus means they are fused. The calyx portion. The sepals are fused. And C for corolla. On the same way, CN means polypetalous. C, if N is put in bracket, that means gamopetalous. And P is using for the perianth. A is using for the androecium. G is using for the gynoecium. Okay. And we studied hypogynous, perigynous, then the epigynous ovary. So hypogynous means superior ovary. So here G is superior. So we are drawing one line below the G. That is the symbol of the superior ovary. Then opposite of that is inferior ovary. If it is perigynous, we are putting a line in the middle of this G. Okay. And this symbol indicates the male flower and this indicates the female flower. This means it is a bisexual flower. Okay, and this cross-like picture, and this the circle having cross, and this is the feature of the actinomorphic flower. Percentage sign or this plus sign for the zygomorphic flower. Okay, all these are the symbols we are using in this floral formula. We had to study 3 floral family. Okay, so in this chapter we have to study 3 floral families. The first family is Fabaceae. First family is Fabaceae. Okay, Fabaceae means pea family, payar family. Otherwise it is known as Leguminosae or Papilionaceae. They are herbs, shrubs, trees with root nodules. Okay, the leguminous plants having root nodules. The stem is erect, climbing or branched. Leaves are, they're having a tendril for climbing and the leaves are alternate. Then some in case of simple leaf, some in case of pinnately compound leaf, and they are having a pulvinate. And this type of inflorescence seen in this group is racemose inflorescence. Okay, so which type of vegetation seen in here? So this is the standard petal and these two are the wing petal and this is the keel petal. So that type of inflorescence or that type of features that we are known as axillary estivation. We studied the estivation. Okay, different types of estivation. So axillary estivation is the peculiar feature of the Papilionaceae family. Okay, so this is represented by a floral diagram. This is a floral diagram. Okay, can you imagine? Can you guess what are the features of this family? You can any idea what is the features of this family? This green color portion. These green color portions are connected to each other. Okay, so these green color portions are the calyx. Okay. And this next portion, that is, this one is corolla. Here the petals are 3 type of petal. This one is the standard petal and these 2 are the wing petal and this one is the keel petal and the keel petal is arranged here. That means keel petals are jointed. Okay. The next is arranged here, the androecium. That means stamens. So number of stamens here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stamens are together. That means fused. One is free. So the arrangement is 9 plus 1. The arrangement is 9 plus 1. Okay. And here, in case of the Papilionaceae family, the central portion, or in all groups, the central portion is gynoecium. The gynoecium is superior and they show marginal placentation and monocarpellary ovary. Monocarpellary, here we can see only one, that is monocarpellary ovary. So this can be given in the form of symbol. The symbol, okay. So again, you get the idea. First one, this is the symbol of the Fabaceae family. This is very important. The floral formula is very important. This is the feature of the Fabaceae family. The percentage sign means, what is percentage sign means? Percentage sign indicate that it is zygomorphic. Percentage sign indicate that it is zygomorphic. We studied zygomorphic, actinomorphic and asymmetrical. And this plus and minus symbol indicate that both the male and the female parts are seen in this organism. Here K stands for calyx. Number of calyx 5. Then why there's in put it in bracket? That means the calyx are jointed. The calyx are jointed. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and these 5 are connected. That's why we put them in a bracket. Okay. Then next is corolla. Corolla is 1 plus 2 plus 2. 1 plus 2 plus 2 means 1 standard petal, 2 wing petal and 2 keel petal. And these 2 keel petals are united. That's why we put bracket here. Then the A stands for androecium. Here the 9 plus 1. 9 stamens are arranged together. And the one is extra. Okay, please look at this picture. The 1 is situated here. So 9 plus 1. And the next condition is G. One line is there and above the line G is representing. That means hypogynous. And here we written 1. The 1 stands for monocarpellary ovary. So this is the floral formula of Fabaceae. Floral formula of Fabaceae. Clear it us? Okay. First time you are studying all this, you feel some difficulty, but through the constant reading, okay, you will be adjust with it and you will be familiar with it. Clear? Then we have to study more 2 families. One is Solanaceae family and the other one is Liliaceae family. We have to study 3 families in here: Fabaceae, Solanaceae and the Liliaceae. I hope all you understand this point. Thank you.